In the previous masterclass about responsive web design, we learned how to create low fidelity and high fidelity mockups when planning for responsive layouts. Now we're going to start building our project using just HTML and CSS, and when we're writing our style sheet, we'll do all of our fluid grid calculations. Before we get started, we should take a look at the directory structure that we're starting off with. This is our web root, and we have a folder called images that I've created, and we have a folder called videos that I've also created. First, we'll jump into the images folder, and the first image we have here is called app screenshot.jpg, and this is simply a screenshot of our application, which we'll be using for the poster image in our HTML5 video tag, and we'll also be using it as a fallback should a browser not support HTML5 video. So we'll go back, and the next image is geonotation.png, and that's the image that we created in Photoshop, which is the logo for our application. We have noise.png, which in the browser here you can't really see, but we'll be overlaying this image on top of the gradient on our call to action button. Next, we have phone.png. This is quite a large image, and this will be the container for our HTML5 video. Next, we have phoneStatic.jpg, and this is yet another fallback image should a browser not support HTML5 video. We'll get more into that later. We'll go back here, and we're going to jump inside the icons folder, which is inside of our images folder. And here we have 4 images that we've picked up from the Crystal project for KDE. And we have our lightning bolt, we have a globe, there's a heart, and we have a notepad. So we'll go back here, we'll go back into the images folder, and then we'll go back all the way up to the web root. And then we're going to jump into the videos folder here. And here we have 4 different videos. The first one is just the original screencast that I took of the HTML5 mobile application that we're advertising in this project. And I've re-encoded this video into 3 different formats. We have MP4, OGG, and a newer format called WebM. Currently, there isn't a single codec that is supported across all browsers, so we do need to encode our HTML5 videos into multiple codecs. So we'll go ahead and click on appdemo.mp4, and this is basically what the video looks like. It's just a screencast of an iPhone, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an iPhone. This could be representative of really any phone since we're advertising a web application. So we'll go ahead and go back here. And now we're ready to go ahead and jump into our text editor. So again, we have the same directory structure here. We have our images folder, and we have our videos folder. And now we're going to go ahead and create our first file. So first, we're going to type out our HTML5 doc type, which looks like this, doc type in all caps. Then we'll type out our HTML tag. The language will be English. And we'll go ahead and close that. We'll open up the head tag and close it. And we'll open up the body tag and close that. So let's start out with our head tag. First, we'll go ahead and set the character set to UTF-8. And then we're going to put a title tag on this. And the project we're advertising is called Geonotation, so we'll put that for our title. And for now, that'll wrap it up for our head tag, but we'll be revisiting this later. So let's go ahead and move on to our body tag. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a div with the ID wrapper. And this will contain pretty much everything that's going to be on our site. Next, we need another div called main content. We'll go ahead and close that. Moving further in, we're going to create a div with the ID header and close that. And then inside of our header, we're going to create another nested div with the ID logo. Inside of our logo div, we're going to create a first level headline. And this will be where our logo will go for our site. And inside of the first level headline, we'll put the name geonotation. We need to put the actual image that is our logo, which again is in the images folder. And we named it geonotation.png. And we should put some alternate text on here. And we'll just say logo for the geonotation application. And then after our image, we'll create a second level headline. And this will be our tagline just below our geonotation logo. And it will say take notes anywhere. We'll go ahead and save this out. And we'll scroll down a little bit here. And just outside of our logo, we'll go ahead and open up a paragraph. And inside of our paragraph, we'll say, have you ever written something down only to later be confused by your own note? And then expounding upon that, we'll go ahead and create another paragraph. And inside of this one, we'll just actually go ahead and copy and paste some text from off screen, because I think you get the idea. And then we're done with our header div. So let's go ahead and skip down here and make some room to work. So just after our header div, we'll create another div with the ID phone. And we'll go ahead and close that. And inside of our phone div, we're going to create a video container. Now, this phone div is what will actually contain an image of our phone. This video container will contain an HTML5 video. So let's go ahead and create that now. We'll type out our video tag. We're going to give it a width of 100%. And this will be for our fluid grid, which we'll be talking about later on. We're going to create a poster image for our video, and this will be the image that is shown when the video is not playing. This will be taken from the images folder, and this is the file called appscreenshot.jpg. And then finally, we just need to add the controls attribute. And this will just put some video controls on top of our video. So we'll go ahead and close our video tag. And then inside, we need to put our sources. Now, I've already encoded our video to several different sources because that's not really the focus of this masterclass, but we'll just go ahead and drop in those sources now. So our first source tag will be from the videos folder. And we're going to pick up appdemo.mp4. And this is going to be of type video/mp4. And the codecs we're using on this are going to be inside of double quotes, which are then inside of single quotes. It will be avc1.42e01e, comma, mp4a .40.2. And then we'll skip down to the next line and put in our next source. And this will again be from the videos folder. File name is appdemo.webm. And this is a newer codec that works in Google Chrome and a few other browsers. And the MIME type for this will be video/webm. And the codecs will be VP8, Vorbis. We just have one more source here. The next one will again be from the videos folder. It will be appdemo.ogv. Type will be video/og. And the codecs will be Theora, Vorbis. So now we're done with our video sources, but we still need to add in one more thing, and that is an image that is, again, our app screenshot. And this will occasionally show up in browsers that do not support the HTML5 video tag, but will still show this image. So the alt text for this will just be screenshot of geonotation. And we're going to give it an ID so that we can target it with CSS later. And the ID will be video app screenshot. So we'll go ahead and skip down here. We're done with our HTML5 video container there. We'll save that out and make a little bit of room to work here. And we'll move on to the third column in our layout, which will give the ID miscellaneous. We'll close that. And the first thing inside of this column will be a link with the ID call to action. And we also need to give it the href of http://mc-mobile-app.s3.amazonaws.com/index.html. And this will just link to the project that was created in a previous masterclass. Inside of this link, we'll put the text, "Start taking notes." And then below this link, we're going to create a few block quotes here, which will be testimonials about the app. And our first block quote will be, "Holy heck, it's awesome." And then after that, we'll create a div with a dash, Ryan Carson, and close the div. And then we'll create a second block quote. And inside of this one, we'll go ahead and put a quote for myself. It says, "This changes everything." And we'll go ahead and open a div here and say it's from Nick Pettit. And we'll go ahead and close that. So that about finishes things up for our main content div. So we can go ahead and delete this extra space here. However, just after our main content div, we're going to create an unordered list with the ID features. And this will be where we put all of the features that are listed at the bottom of the page. So our first list item will have the ID global, and we're going to give it the class feature. And we'll go ahead and close that list item. And we'll create a div inside of it with the class icon. And we're going to put an image inside of this div from the images folder. inside the icons folder, and it will be globe.png, and we'll give it the alternate text, an icon of a globe. And then still inside of our list item, we'll create another div with the class info, and this will be information that's placed next to our icon. So we'll create a third level headline tag, and we'll say global, and then we'll expound upon that point, and we'll say keep track of your notes using advanced geolocation technology. So that about wraps things up for our first list item, but we need to create 3 more, so we'll go ahead and copy this, and we'll paste it 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we just need to change the information inside of each one of these ones that we pasted. So this first one that we pasted will have the ID easy. We're going to change the source on the image to notes.png, and we'll change the alternate text to say an icon of a notepad, and then we just need to change the description here to say this app is even easier to use than regular old pen and paper. And of course we do need to change this H30 as well, and we'll say easy. Now we just have 2 more here. We need an ID of friendly. We'll change the image to the icon of a heart, and we'll change the alt text appropriately. We need to again change our description, and for this one we'll say you'll love the experience of taking notes and interacting with geonotation. And then for the H3, we'll also say friendly. And now we're on to our final list item here, and we'll change the ID to say fast, and we'll use our lightning bolt to represent the speediness of the app. We'll change the alternate text appropriately and say an icon of a lightning bolt. We'll change our description to say geonotation is quite simply the fastest note-taking app on the market. And then we'll go ahead and change our H3 to say fast. And then we'll delete our extra space here. And we can get rid of the extra space in between each one of our list items. And then we'll go ahead and save that out and switch back to the browser. And when we refresh the page here, you can see that we now have a first level headline that says geonotation. Just below that, inside of our logo div, we have the geonotation logo. We have a second level headline, which is our tagline that says take notes anywhere. We have a brief description of our app, and all of these things will go in the left-hand column. We then have a very large image of our application, and that's actually just the poster for this HTML5 video. Now remember, we put width of 100% on this, which is why it appears to be so large. We'll go ahead and pause that. Then, on the right side of our page, we have the Start Taking Notes call to action button. We have a few block quote testimonials. Holy heck, it's awesome, and this changes everything. And then we have a few very large icons here with the headers global, easy, friendly, and fast. And that should about wrap things up for our HTML markup. Having good semantic markup like this is the foundation for creating a very good responsive design.